knock out the country's energy grid.
Putin again claiming Russia is preparing a so-called dirty bomb.
It has been more than 200 days since Russia launched an attack on Ukraine. And although so much time has passed, Russia still has not been able to conquer. Actually, they underestimated Ukraine in the first place. Despite being less powerful, the country has held its own very well. And now, after trying almost everything except going nuclear, Russia has decided to change its game plan. It is now attacking Ukraine's infrastructure, and presently, its main focus is the energy grids. But what good would it do to Russia? And how far has it succeeded in its plans? Let's take a look. According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Russia has begun what he calls a new enormous offensive against Ukraine's electricity grid. The attacks were carried out on a very wide scale and targeted districts in Ukraine's west, center, south, and east. The waves of air attacks have apparently caused the destruction of almost 1/3 of Ukraine's power stations and other energy-generating facilities. The most recent attacks have been directed towards the Cherkasy region, which is located in the southeast of the city of Kyiv, as well as the city of Khmelnytskyi, which is located further to the west. There have been reports of airstrikes and power outages all the way from Odesa in the south to Rivne and Lutsk in the northwest of the country. Officials estimated that approximately 1.5 million houses were currently without power, all thanks to Russian aggression. Recently, however, power has been restored in several regions that had previously been without it. According to Ukrenergo, the national power operator, the strikes may have caused more damage than the heavy bombardments that took place earlier this month. President Zelensky got it noted in his video that the majority of the Russian missiles and drones were being shot down, and that the strikes would not be enough to block a military advance by the Ukrainians. Ukraine obviously does not yet possess the technological capability to destroy 100% of the missiles and drones used in attacks by the Russian government. However, it will eventually get to this point with the assistance of its various collaborators. There had been a total of 36 rockets launched by Ukraine, the majority of which were successful. The deputy mayor of the city of Lviv in western Ukraine, Cherkasy, gave an interview in which he stated that Russia's objective was to bring the battle to places beyond the front line and to cause damage to vital infrastructure before the winter. He also pointed out the fact that the more successes the Ukrainian armed forces are having at the front, the worse it's going to be for people on the home front, because Russia is going to do everything it can to target civilians and to target critical infrastructure. But this is not all. The Ukrainian president has accused Russia of planting explosives at a hydroelectric dam in the Kherson region, which lies in the southern part of the country. Although this territory is currently under the authority of Moscow soldiers, Zelensky articulated that the safety of tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, would be at risk if the Kakova hydroelectric facility were to be demolished. Despite these obvious and clear allegations by Ukraine, Russia still stands to defend itself. Instead of mending its ways, Russia has, in turn, blamed Ukraine and said that it is launching one missile towards the dam. Also, Russia has very clearly denied any intention of blowing up the dam. But whatever it may be, the significance of the dam for both countries cannot be neglected. While it is no doubt an important asset of Ukraine, the facility is also one of the only surviving crossings of the Dnieper River. The Dnieper, also called the Narpo River by Ukraine, is, as of now, in a partially controlled province of Kherson. During the past few days, thousands of civilians have fled the city of Kherson as Ukrainian soldiers have made progress towards their destination. In addition, the Russian officials in charge of the occupation issued a fresh order in which they reiterated their demand that people leave immediately. The United Nations acknowledged in September that there were, in fact, credible allegations regarding the forcible removal of Ukrainian children from Russian-occupied territory. In a reply to this, Vasily Nebenzia, Russia's ambassador to the United Nations, stated that the claims lacked foundation. However, the whole world knows what's really going on. There is no doubt, in fact, that Russia is snatching everything from Ukraine, including even the very land they reside on. And in case you are unaware, all this is pretty much illegal even during the toughest times of war. What Russia is doing to the people of Ukraine, especially to the citizens of Kherson, is a direct violation of international law. No occupying power has the right to move or deport citizens from an occupied territory. The other inhumane things done by Russia aside, this act in itself constitutes a war crime. Although the Ukrainian armed forces have reported that Russian troops withdrew from two villages, namely Rivne and Lutsk, in the Kherson region on Saturday, the news has not been affirmed by any credible third party. This brings us to the end of this video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing so we can keep bringing more content like this. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.